Anambra is no doubt one of the states in Nigeria experiencing incessant and very high rates of kidnapping that in some cases do lead to the death of the abducted victims and killing of security operatives and some other persons around the scene of the mostly monetary crimes of hostage-taking for a ransom. Specifically, our crime reporters gathered that there is hardly no week without 1 or 2 persons being kidnapped along the Onitsha-Owerri Federal Road in Anambra State, especially between Oba community and Ihiala town, as we gathered that most victims of kidnapping in the state are hard-working small and medium-sized business owners who most of whom struggled out of poverty to become wealthy successful traders. This, we learnt, there may be no wealthy successful business owner along the Ihiala-Orlu road left to be kidnapped or forced to pay ransom to the kidnappers, while in Oba, wealthy people are being kidnapped quietly and ransom in millions are paid in silence to the kidnappers. According to members of the community, a young successful businessman was kidnapped recently at a location between the Oba-Nnewi Road and Old Road junctions shortly after he visited his building construction site, while we also learned that some people in the state do report or contract their friends to kidnappers just to get a share from the ransom that will be paid afterwards, or when such people have issue or dispute with their friends or co-traders. It may interest you to know that the Anambra State Police Command recently arrested a 24-year-old male suspect, Muanaenye Victor, for allegedly luring his friend to be kidnapped by his criminal gang in Uli, Ihiala Local Government Area of the state, and they reportedly collected a ransom in dollars equivalent to 5.3 million nairas with his gang members, just as gunmen in a not too long distance time abducted a lawyer and 2 other persons in Inpoligwu, Aguata Local Government Area of Anambra, in addition to previous cases of kidnapping of the owner of the Porsche Club, Chief Ebere Orji, by unknown gunmen after the gunmen killed numbers of persons along the new Oba-Nnewi Road in Idemili South Local Government Area of Anambra State, with the number of those killed at the Porsche Nightclub said to be 7, but 1 of the security operatives was beheaded, and another had his foot cut off and made away with by the invading deadly kidnappers. This occurred shortly after a well-known native doctor or witch doctor, Chidozie Nwangwu, a.k.a. Akwa Okuko Tiwaraki, was kidnapped, after his 2 personal aides killed in the vicinity of his hotel at Oba community before the kidnappers effortlessly took him away and was released after ransom in millions were reportedly paid. That not all, on May 21, 2022, shortly after Professor Chukwuma Soludo was sworn in as governor, gunmen abducted the lawmaker representing Aguata 2 constituency in the State House of Assembly, Okechukwu Okoye, also known as Oke, represented Soludo's state constituency. Isuofia, Okoye was killed and beheaded alongside his aide, Cyril Chiegboka, 6 days after they were abducted along Aguluzigbo Road, Anaocha Local Government Area of the state, and their heads and bodies dumped along a roadside in the state. And in December 2024, another lawmaker in the State House of Assembly was kidnapped and killed, and the victim, the lifeless body of the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, Justice Azuka, was found along the second Niger Bridge, with Azuka's lifeless body, said to be already decomposing, was found by a joint team of security operatives 44 days after he was kidnapped on December 24, 2024. Along the Ugwunaobankpa Road in Inland Town, Onitsha, while returning home for Christmas. And the most prominent among the incessant cases of kidnapping in the state is Martins Onyekesi, well known as Fish Magnet. The kidnapping and subsequent killing of the young small business owner sparked protest and public awareness like never before, with a social right activist, Martins Onyekesi, a.k.a. Veridakman, coming to the state earlier on Sunday and led a protest walk on Tuesday which was tagged Candlelight Procession March in honor of Fish Magnet, one of the most recent victims of the unabated deadly monetary kidnapping business apparently thriving in Anambra like some other states in Nigeria, with Veridakman saying during the protest that it may be right to say that kidnappers killed Fish Magnet, but the actual killers are the administrative failures of Professor Charles Chukwuman Soludo, the state governor, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, General Christopher Musa, the Nigeria Chief of Defense Staff, Kayode Egbetoken, the Inspector General of Police and the local government area chairman or mayor, and accused him of incompetence in managing security matters in the state and the country at large, while the Anambra State Police Command spokesperson, Tochukwu Okenga, who also joined the campaign, said, the campaign walk was not only about Fish Magnet but a bold statement collectively made by Anambra youths in solidarity and in support of the efforts of the security agencies in the state against killings and other crimes. After the protest, Veridakman stated in a post that, "I'm glad I found this online, and like I clearly said, Fish Magnet was killed by Chukwuma Charles Soludo. He was killed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ellipsis. Rest in peace my namesake, Martins Onyekesi Efesanachi. Dear at Fish Magnet, you sent me a DM and I didn't see it. Even if I had seen it I wouldn't have responded because I have other priorities and a lot of issues going on, and I always think people gift me things to have me advertise for them, so I don't accept gift. When I saw your post on Tunde Ednut page I actually commented something funny to let you know I saw it. You are gone now and I sincerely wish I had collected the fish from you. Ellipsis. I will like to also beg Nigerians to support his business so his legacy continues. It should not be a case where because he is no more and then people will stop the patronage. The office and business is still operating. Follow at Fish Magnet. They deliver nationwide. Lol, I finally did the advert for you and you won't even see it. Rest on King my namesake." Tochukwu Okenga, the Anambra State Police Command spokesperson, in a post, also said, "It was a walk for peace, a stand against violent crime. The youths of Anambra came out in their numbers in a symbolic walk for peace, a collective stance against violent crime. It was not just a march for Fish Magnet, it was a show of solidarity with the Nigeria police and other security agencies, a bold statement to condemn all forms of criminality. Together, they echoed a clear message: enough is enough. Criminals can no longer be allowed to terrorize Anambra State and the southeast region. The time has come for unity, vigilance, and community-driven action for a safer Anambra." Anambra State Association of Town Union, ASATU, Youth President, Comrade Kenekoli, as well as Anambra State Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Akamba, were also at the event, with almost all the protesters dressed in black and black, marched from Aroma Junction in the state capital to the Fish Magnet factory in Awka. The protest did not take place without an earlier warning issued against Veridakman by the police. The Nigeria Police Force had in a statement said, "The Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Command, CP Ikue Oratugu, FWCMNIPS PhD, has issued a stern warning to social media influencer, Mr. Martins Vincent Otts, popularly known as Veridakman, cautioning him against making statements or taking actions capable of inciting tension or breaching public peace within the state." The CP noted the decision of the family of the late Mr. Efesanachi Onyekere, Managing Director of Fish Magnet Outlet, to publicly dissociate themselves from any proposed or ongoing candlelight procession or memorial gathering being organized in his name. They therefore pleaded that they should allow the family to grieve privately while trusting the authorities to do their work. The CP emphasized that Anambra State remains one of the most peaceful in the region due to the sustained efforts of the police and other security agencies, in collaboration with critical stakeholders. He stressed that no individual, regardless of social status, would be allowed to disrupt the existing peace and security architecture of the state. CP Oratugu urged residents and visitors alike to go about their lawful duties without fear, reaffirming the command's commitment to maintaining law and order. He further advised social media users and public figures to exercise restraint and avoid spreading misinformation or making inciting remarks. The command further warns that anyone found undermining public peace, either online or offline, will face the full weight of the law. We have reported that the Anambra State government under the leadership of Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo has said that the state is currently in search of justice over the killing of a young and creative fish farmer, Martins Efesanachi Onyekesi, well known by his business name as Fish Magnet, who was reportedly shot on the leg while being kidnapped on Sunday the 27th of July 2025, at his residence in Ezinifite village, Okpuno in Awka, the Anambra State capital. This, Dr. George Moghalu, the Labour Party candidate in the forthcoming governorship election in the state, said that Anambra State is no longer safe, adding that people are being killed, slaughtered for their families to bury in silence, while the state governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, looks the other way, with no sympathy, condolence visit or statement. Specifically, Moghalu said, "I must speak frankly, Anambra is no longer safe, not even in the state capital. Our people are being slaughtered, kidnapped, and buried in silence while the government looks the other way. This is not leadership, it is abandonment." Just recently, we lost over 10 lives in a ghastly accident at Onitsha-Owerri South Local Government Area, yet there was no statement, no condolence, not even a visit from the state government. Instead, we see street renamings and political endorsement rallies. Where is our conscience? Moghalu stated, while the former lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained Biafra agitation leader, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, said the people of the state are currently romancing with crimes, hiding criminals, and painting absurd narratives on social media to glorify and justify the rising crimes in the state, saying, "The most frightening part, the reckless energy our own people expend defending these killers. When you shield murderers because they are your kinsmen, you embolden them. When you justify kidnappings under the guise of ethnic pride, you leave the gates wide open for the real external aggressors, like armed herdsmen, whose invasion will come when we are weakest and most divided."
They said kidnappers killed fish magnates, but in actual sense, it is the government that killed fish magnates. Yes. In actual sense, it is Charles Soludo that killed fish magnates. Yes. In actual sense, it is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that killed fish magnates. In actual sense, it is the local government chairman that killed fish magnates. In actual sense, it is the IG of police that killed fish magnates. In actual sense, it is the chief of defense staff and the chief of army staff that killed fish magnates. Yes. Because we pay our tax. We pay our tax. 32,000. Anambra State. Nigeria is a very rich country. We have the money to have more policemen with more ammunition, more guns that can protect everybody. But for some reason, these people don't care. Your children are living abroad. You don't go to our schools. You don't use our hospitals. All your kids are outside. That's why you will never understand the insecurity that we face. They can never understand. I look at the faces of people here and I say, plenty of us go see die. Plenty of us go see die. The inevitability of death has not changed. Plenty of us go see die. And you know why? Because the government don't care. They don't care. They only care about their pockets and their own family. Their selfish interests. Make it make sense. They say na herdsmen for how many years? Which herdsmen? Everybody keep quiet. They start for Jos. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Borno. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Kaduna, that's 3 states. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Taraba, say 4. 4. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Benue, say 5. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Edo. 6. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Bayelsa. 7. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Anambra. 8. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Enugu. 9. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Imo State. 10. There's no place they know it. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Abia. 11. Everybody keep quiet. They enter Rivers State. 12. What have we done? Everybody keep quiet. They enter Ebonyi. 13. Everybody see the fight as we dey talk now. For how long? For how long? Say like this people they gather every time. For how long? No! The government needs to do better. Yes! Please, government, we are begging you. When the Bola Ahmed Tinubu protect us, Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, protect us. Yes. The governor of Edo State, protect your people. The governor of Benue State, protect your people. Then they kill people and they plan for election. By the time they kill all of us, we go know who go vote you. Very soon, there will be nobody to vote politician again. Because they don't kill everybody finish. Imagine killing over 200 people in one state. How many remain? Human being for Nigeria don't turn dogs. Human being for Nigeria don't turn cows. Chicken. Farmers go farm, they'll kill them. It's a problem. They beg me. A sadness. Because we are supposed to gather because of happiness to celebrate. But it's so sad that we are gathered here today because of the demise of a young blood like every one of us. Whose name is Fish Magnet. Fish Magnet is a victim of the incompetence of our security. Now, excuse you, let me explain. Right? Let me explain. Before I came here, let me just break down something. They actually wanted to stop this because they thought I am political. Maybe I want to do politics for one person against this governor or against this government. But I don't care about politics. It's not my business. I don't do politics. If person don't die, if security there, you don't go gather here. If person security there, nobody will come here. A lot of things need to be done. So now, we are going to take a walk to Fish Magnet's office to be a very easy walk. This walk, the reason for it is simple. First of all, it's a tribute to Fish Magnet and also an awareness to the government. Some of us will be alive for years. You know this next month, if this kind of continue. Don't get insisted. Some of us for years, you know, do this next year. If you don't talk, don't think you are too precious. What happened to Fish Magnet? Some people say, no, happened to me in a lie. A lie. I have witnessed countless killings in my life. It's just quite unfortunate.
Okay, thank you everyone. What we are seeing today is not only against Fish Magnet, but this is a collective will of Anambra, all the youth of Anambra, standing with the security agencies to make sure that the killings in Anambra is reduced to drastic level. And they are ready to work with the security agencies to provide information on issues that concern security. What you are seeing today is just a replica of the collective will of Anambra to make sure that the security is very, very stable in Anambra. Thank you.
And as you can see, what is going on here, we are going to demonstrate our pains, how we feel.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Ghana Minister of Defense, Edward Omain Boma, alongside 7 other top government officials and military personnel have been confirmed dead, after Ghana Armed Forces in a statement on Wednesday had declared the Z-9 military helicopter missing, stating, the helicopter traveling from the nation capital in Accra to Obuasi in Ashanti region went off from radar at 9:12 a.m. with 3 crew members and 5 passengers on board. Others killed in the helicopter crash, as confirmed by the Office of the President of Ghana, include Dr. Alhaji Murtala Muhammad, MP for Tamale Central, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Munaru Muhammad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Sarpong, Vice Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Aboagye, former parliamentary candidate, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anila, Flying Officer Twumampadu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. It was gathered that the military helicopter went down at Adansi Akrofam in the Ashanti region on Wednesday, for yet to be stated cause of the incident, as video footage showed the burnt beyond recognition bodies of those on board the aircraft. The aircraft was from Accra and heading for Obuasi and is currently off the radar. All efforts are being made to establish contact, the Ghana Armed Forces had stated in a statement earlier on Wednesday. The government of Ghana has directed that all national flags be flown at half-mast in honor of the late government top officials, Edward Omain Boma, Minister for Defense, and Ibrahim Matala Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, among others who died in the military helicopter crash. According to local media, the fatal incident occurred on Wednesday, August 6, in the Adansi Akrofuum district of the Ashanti region while the two ministers, along with 6 others, were en route to Obuasi for official duties. Announcing the directive, Chief of Staff Julius Debra expressed the government's deep sorrow regarding the loss of the 2 senior public officials and others on board the helicopter. The president is emotionally down. The vice president is leading a team to formally inform the families. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu told news reporters following the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of top government officials including the defense and environment ministers. While announcing the death of all passengers and crew members on board, the Ghana Chief of Staff, Julius Debra said, on behalf of the President of the Republic, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Apoku Agumang, who is with us here, and the Government of Ghana, I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning around the Adansi area in the Ashanti region. Government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash. Dr. Edward Kofi Omain Boma, Minister for Defense. Al-Haji, Dr. Ibrahim Matala Mohammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Al-Haji Munaru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sarpong, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Samuel Aboagye, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manine Twumampadu, Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and Government extend our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice, Julius Debra, Chief of Staff stated in a press briefing.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who is with us here, and the government of Ghana, I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning around the Adansi area in Ashanti region. Government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash. Dr. Edward Kofi Omanebuama, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Lemonad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sarpong, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. And Mr. Samuel Aboagye, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manine Twumampadu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and Government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and the servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice. Thank you.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Anambra State Government under the leadership of Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo has said that the state is currently in search of justice over the killing of a young and creative fish farmer, Martins Onyekesi, well known by his business name as Fish Magnet, who was reportedly shot on the leg while being kidnapped on Sunday the 27th of July 2025. At his residence in Ezinifite village, Okpuno in Awka, the Anambra State capital. Dr. George Moghalu, the Labour Party candidate in the forthcoming governorship election in the state, said that Anambra State is no longer safe, adding that people are being killed, slaughtered for their families to bury in silence, while the state governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, looks the other way, with no sympathy, condolence visit or statement. Specifically, Moghalu said, "I must speak frankly, Anambra is no longer safe, not even in the state capital. Our people are being slaughtered, kidnapped, and buried in silence while the government looks the other way. This is not leadership, it is abandonment." Just recently, we lost over 10 lives in a ghastly accident at Onitsha-Owerri South Local Government Area, yet there was no statement, no condolence, not even a visit from the state government. Instead, we see street renamings and political endorsement rallies. Where is our conscience? Moghalu stated, while the former lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained Biafra agitation leader, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, said the people of the state are currently romancing with crimes, hiding criminals, and painting absurd narratives on social media to glorify and justify the rising crimes in the state, saying, "The most frightening part, the reckless energy our own people expend defending these killers. When you shield murderers because they are your kinsmen, you embolden them. When you justify kidnappings under the guise of ethnic pride, you leave the gates wide open for the real external aggressors, like armed herdsmen, whose invasion will come when we are weakest and most divided." Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefa, made the government position known on Sunday after he led other government officials on a condolence visit to the bereaved mother of the victim, who happened to be the woman leader of the Anambra State All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Mrs. Esther Onyekesi. According to Punch newspaper, Onyekere, a son of the woman leader of the Anambra State All Progressives Grand Alliance, was abducted by gunmen at his residence in Ezinaphite Community, Okpuno, Awka South Local Government Area of Anambra State, in a late-night attack on Saturday, July 26, and was subsequently killed. In a press statement released on Sunday, the State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefa, sympathized with the deceased's family, assuring them that the state government is in search of justice while sustaining and strengthening security in the state. Mefa, who maintained that such a development is an affront to the Professor Chukwuma Soludo government's new security architecture, also expressed delight that the police are on the heels of the perpetrators. The commissioner was quoted as having stated this when he paid a condolence visit to the woman leader of the Anambra State APGA, Esther Onyekesi, according to the statement. The statement read in part, "The Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefa, recently paid a condolence visit to the woman leader of the Anambra State All Progressives Grand Alliance, Mrs. Esther Onyekesi, whose only son, Martins Onyekesi, a prominent fish dealer in the state popularly known as Fish Magnet, was kidnapped and murdered recently in Anambra State." Mefa, who described the fish dealer's death as dastardly and heart-wrenching, sympathized with the deceased's mother, assuring her that the state government is with her in search of justice while sustaining and strengthening security in Anambra State. He maintained that such a death is an affront to the solution government's new security architecture and expressed happiness that the police are on the heels of the perpetrators and have issued a statement on the matter after recovering the vehicle in which they drove him away, adding that nobody can commit such a dastardly act in Anambra State and get away with it. So may his soul rest in peace. We'll fight and get him justice. The mother will get justice, the family will get justice, and Anambra will get justice. It's a very painful loss for all of us, and the government is always challenged when things like this happen because it's an affront to the new security architecture put in place by the solution government, led by Professor Chukwuma Soludo. The commissioner said security in Anambra has significantly improved since Soludo launched a new security architecture on February 18, 2025. He noted that troubled areas are now receiving proper attention and that anyone causing unrest must now face the government's security outfits, Haganekemba and Operation Udo-Ga-Achi. And whoever is constituting a security challenge in Anambra now knows that they have the government's new security outfits, Haganekemba and Operation Udo-Ga-Achi, to contend with, the statement read. Also on the condolence visit, along with the commissioner, was the chairman of the Onitsha South Local Government Area, Van George Aziogidi. Meanwhile, the Anambra State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force had said a joint security operatives recovered the victim's vehicle which the assailants used to escape the scene. In a statement, the police said, "The Commissioner of Police, CP Ebere Orji, FWC, MNIPS, PhD, has directed all tactical and intelligence units to redouble their efforts in tracking down the armed men responsible for the abduction and subsequent killing of Mr. Professor Onyekesi, the managing director of Fish Magnet Outlet, who was attacked in the evening of the 27th of July 2025, at his residence in Ezinifite village, Ugwunaobankpa. This directive follows the recovery of the victim's navy blue Toyota Corolla, along Aguluzigbo Road by the joint security team comprising of Anambra vigilante operatives and the police. Preliminary investigations revealed that the assailants had trailed the victim before launching the violent attack, during which the deceased was shot in the leg and forcibly taken away. He was later found lifeless, sparking public outrage and deep concern among residents of Awka. The CP, while condemning the killing, assured that the criminal elements behind this cowardly act will be brought to book. He further stated that the police owe it to the family, the people of Anambra, and the memory of the deceased to ensure that those responsible face the full weight of the law. Further developments would be communicated accordingly. SP Tochukwu Okoye, Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command stated in a press release on Wednesday. Labour Party governorship candidate, Dr. George Mogulu said, "My heart is heavy. I received, with deep sorrow, the devastating news of the brutal murder of Mr. Martins Onyekesi, the only son of Mrs. Esther Onyekesi, the Anambra State woman leader of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. Martin was a promising young man, an industrious fish farmer in his 20s, whose life was cut short in a most cruel and senseless manner. Abducted from his family home in Awka, shot in the leg, and later found dead despite ransom being paid. This is not just a family's tragedy. It is a painful reminder that our dear state is in crisis. My thoughts and prayers are with Mrs. Onyekesi and her entire family in this moment of unimaginable grief. No parent should ever have to bury a child, especially under such horrifying circumstances. I must speak frankly. Anambra is no longer safe. Not even in the state capital. Our people are being slaughtered, kidnapped, and buried in silence while the government looks the other way. This is not leadership. It is abandonment. Just recently, we lost over 10 lives in a ghastly accident at Onitsha-Owerri South Local Government Area, yet there was no statement, no condolence, not even a visit from the state government. Instead, we see street renamings and political endorsement rallies. Where is our conscience? This is not about political party. This is about human life. This is about the safety of our people, our mothers, our fathers, our children. As a father and a fellow Anambrarian, I feel this pain personally. As a leader, I cannot keep quiet. We must return empathy to governance. We must put humanity before politics. The Anambra of our dreams cannot be built on propaganda, silence, and indifference. It must be founded on compassion, courage, and the resolve to act, especially when it matters most. May the soul of young Martins Onyekesi find rest, and may his death not be in vain. Dr. George Mogulu, Labour Party governorship candidate in Anambra State, stated this on Friday, August 1, 2025. Former lawyer Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, in a statement said, "The brutal abduction and subsequent killing of Professor Onyekesi, popularly known as Fish Magnet, in Awka, Anambra State, is yet another chilling reminder that our homeland is bleeding, and we are running out of time to act." Just last week, social media was awash with heart-wrenching reports of how this promising young man was kidnapped in his own home at Ezinifite community, Ugwunaobankpa South Local Government Area, during a late-night invasion by gunmen. He was whisked away and later gruesomely murdered, despite an undisclosed ransom being paid. The most devastating part, Professor was the only son of his family. One life brutally snuffed out, a family shattered beyond repair, and a community thrown into mourning. I condemn this dastardly act in the strongest possible terms. I call on the Governor of Anambra State, security agencies, and every community stakeholder to rise to the occasion, not merely to issue statements, but to act decisively, hunt down these murderers, bring them to justice, and urgently strengthen the security architecture to forestall further bloodshed. But let us not deceive ourselves, this is more than an isolated tragedy. It is a symptom of a larger, deadlier disease that is eating deep into the soul of Ala Igbo. A disturbing trend where crime is romanticized, killers are shielded, and absurd conspiracy theories are peddled on social media to justify barbarity. Some people, hiding behind faceless accounts, shamelessly defend these murderers. Others spin reckless narratives, like the laughable claim that the gunmen who killed over 20 innocent souls in Arundisorogu were Fulani herdsmen who mastered Igbo language. What a tragic delusion. Must death knock at your door before you accept reality? And then there is the digital complicity, the growing chorus of voices online excusing or minimizing the bloodbath ravaging Imo State and other parts of the southeast. Many victims remain silent, paralyzed by fear, while some communities, particularly in the Okigwe axis, have literally been conquered by criminal gangs who now dictate life and death within the domains. The most frightening part, the reckless energy our own people expend defending these killers. When you shield murderers because they're your kinsmen, you embolden them. When you justify kidnappings under the guise of ethnic pride, you leave the gates wide open for the real external aggressors, like armed herdsmen, whose invasion will come when we are weakest and most divided. Let this be crystal clear. Crime is crime, no matter who commits it. A criminal is not a hero. Anyone involved in these heinous acts must be decisively dealt with, without ethnic excuses, without sympathy, and without protection under any guise. To my dismay, only yesterday, I saw a report purportedly authored by alleged Umuaka community, trying desperately to downplay the scale of kidnappings and killings in their area. I ask, what message are we sending to a people who now live under siege? A community where fear is the new normal. The hard truth is this: security is not the responsibility of government alone. It is a collective duty. Sadly, the conventional security architecture appears to have abandoned hapless citizens of Imo State to their fate, either by willful act of dereliction of duty, compromise, or collusion. But we, as a people, cannot, and must not, abandon ourselves. This is a wake-up call. If we do not unite against this evil now, it will consume us all. Tomorrow, it could be your brother, your sister, your only son. The time to act is now, Sir Afeni Ejiofor, Esquire stated this on Saturday, August 2, 2025.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way. Bringing you the news in a more digital way.